Chicago Bears. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Not something you expect to see from the opening kickoff, that's for sure, and they will start at the 40. Off the option, it's Jones. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4, and it was the Bears getting the road victory, so they'll look now to take the season series here at Soldier Field. From the 45 on second down. Fields. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by PCEN. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that you can say that the rain caused that interception, but look, it's clear that throwing the football is going to be tough in these conditions.
No doubt about it, and different quarterbacks handle it different ways. Some guys think the rain isn't a big deal, but wind affects them a little bit more. But you have to wonder, will these conditions hold scoring down? Are we going to have like a 9-6 type of a game? And then the pressure goes on the punters, who often hold for field goal attempts. Can they handle the snap and get the ball down so they can kick it?
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On second down, it's Cook again. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Again, it's Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
typically we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. And he'll find Thielen on the right side.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Meanwhile, Fields throw on target to Godwin here. Finding space at the 40.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
The left side completion to Jones.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. The Bears in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. After the penalty, it's Jones.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
On 1st down, Fields.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. In motion right is Jones. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
To throw is Fields.
Looking deep downfield. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. 39 yards there, a big one. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is, his ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. We're scoreless after one. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action. Fields. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
From the end zone, Tannehill.
That's a quick slant. He finds Adam Thielen.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Tannehill. Man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
It certainly will, and you're exactly right. The first quarter almost felt like a feeling-out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they ramped things up just a little bit to start the second quarter.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Play action. It's Fields.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Now it's Fields.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Here's Blake Gillikin now.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That's taken inside his own 40. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago and in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
From the 50, it's Tannehill.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Bears are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Off the option, it's Jones. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he's got room. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Bears nothing.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
This one fielded at the 5. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 22, Fields. Out route, and the ball is caught by Godwin. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up for the first and goal.
This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Jones. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Third and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. They snap it to Fields. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. An incompletion there on 4th and goal from the 3. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. The final shot here before the break, Tannehill. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Hey, Charles, they got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
Got an open man, finding Jefferson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Right, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays, because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now it's Tannehill.
Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43.
One play action. Fields.
He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time.
Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the 1st down sack.
Fields.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Here's Tannehill. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this one is right through.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
Oh, good return up past the 30. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
On second and a long way to go. Fields, he sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bradley Chubb, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
Here we go. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's a quick throw to Thielen.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Here's Fields.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. A check down here to Jones.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. So nothing doing there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Fields.
Over the middle, it's complete.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
The Bears on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
Fields going to toss this quickly out wide, complete. And he will have the Bears 1st down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Cole Kmet,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Bears are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Are you good? You're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle.
The Bears will line up for this conversion.
Fields trying to throw for it.
And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score,
touchdown, Vikings!
Dalvin Cook with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Fields. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. The Bears on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Here's Fields. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears... Ball here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Down. Fields has to have this one. He's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Bears first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Fields now to throw. Out route, and the ball is caught by Godwin. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Play action. It's Fields.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Vikings 17-yard line.
To throw is Fields.
And now here is another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison.
And the Vikings are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
106 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They run the counter with Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Vikings, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers.
Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 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 I hope y'all can nest double E, cause I need your eyes on me. Cause once I get my feet in this end zone, no one can STOP. Came to make a scene like a movie, feeling big, keep it juicy before we start getting unruly. I've been hooping like a hoolie, keep it coolie before I stuff you in a locker like a bully. Like a bully. Put in the work, you can see my fingernail dirt. I'm the last one to leave, even when I come first. Yeah, you might want it bad, but I'm sure I want it worse. I'ma do it cause I love it, I'ma love it till it hurts. What's the worst that can happen, Captain? I'm strapped in, no I'm not crazy, I'm just tapped in. Hungry like I'm fasting, I'm about that action, no slacking. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, cause here come the pain. No one to call up for help, no one to blame but yourself. You should've known better, however you did it, so we had to come ring your bell. Like I need a award, wait until I score, make it rain till it pour. I'm a dog on fours, put in work like a chore till I'm underneath the floor, in the trenches like a war. If they wanna give them more, when I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 4th down, 4 yards, put it all on the line. I am not worried cause it is our time. I hear the crowd in the background, man, they just wanna see me shine. For the hell of it, it's irrelevant. You lacking the intelligence to make it make sense. We gon' manifest whatever we came to get. That's a little money and a trophy and nothing they gon' respect. We don't care who the best, we don't worry who was next. We gon' put them boys to rest like a Tempur-Pedic to bed. I'm ahead of the rest like I came without a net. They gon' say it under breath, I'ma say it with my chest. I got it wrapped like a toga, put the whole team on my shoulders. Hold up, wake these boys up, call me Folger, soldier. Flow feeling colder, some call it polar. You don't wanna box me, I'm feeling cocky. Hair stocky, leave him floppy, face Nazi, talking all Aki. Think he big poppy, then I'll chop. You here can stop me, it's obvious, you too sloppy, cheap copy. I'm rocky, leave his eyes all glossy, but in the end zone is where you can spot when I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
First off, let me talk my. Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my. It's a bad.